It was about this time that King Herod Agrippa arrested some who belonged to the church, intending to persecute them. Herod was the grandson of Herod the Great, who had tried to kill Jesus as a baby. Evil often runs in families, and like his grandfather, this Herod sought to destroy my people. But he did not know he was fighting against me. And no one who fights me ultimately wins. He had James, the brother of John, put to death with the sword. James, one of the 3 closest disciples to Jesus, who had seen the transfiguration, who had been with Jesus in Gethsemane, became the first apostle to be martyred. His death sent shockwaves through the church. If James could be killed, none were safe. But when Herod saw that this met with approval among the Jews, he proceeded to seize Peter also. This happened during the festival of unleavened bread. After arresting Peter, Herod put him in prison, handing him over to be guarded by 4 squads of 4 soldiers each. 16 soldiers to guard 1 man. Herod intended to bring him out for public trial after the Passover, the same festival when Jesus had been crucified. History seemed to be repeating itself, but I was about to write a different ending. So Peter was kept in prison, but the church was earnestly praying to God for him. They did not stage a protest. They did not plan a rescue. They prayed earnestly, constantly, desperately. They had already lost James. They could not bear to lose Peter too. And their prayers rose like incense before my throne. I was listening. I was preparing to act. The night before Herod was to bring him to trial, Peter was sleeping between 2 soldiers, bound with 2 chains, and sentries stood guard at the entrance. Tomorrow he would likely die. Yet Peter slept, not the restless sleep of anxiety, but the peaceful sleep of trust. He had learned from his master, if this was his time to die, so be it. If not, God would deliver. Either way, he was in my hands. Suddenly an angel of the Lord appeared, and a light shone in the cell. The supernatural invaded the natural. The eternal broke into the temporal. Heaven came down to a prison cell in Jerusalem. The soldiers slept on, supernaturally prevented from waking. Peter's eyes opened to see a glowing figure standing before him. Was this a dream, or was this real? The angel struck Peter on the side and woke him up. "Quick, get up," he said, and the chains fell off Peter's wrists. No key, no lock-picking. The chains simply fell away. Metal could not hold whom God had chosen to free. Physical restraints meant nothing when heaven intervened. Peter sat up, rubbing his wrists, still trying to process what was happening. Then the angel said to him, "Put on your clothes and sandals." And Peter did so. "Wrap your cloak around you and follow me," the angel told him. Even in a miracle, practical steps were required. God's intervention does not eliminate human responsibility. It empowers it. Peter was being delivered, but he still had to get dressed, put on his sandals, and follow. Miracles require partnership. Peter followed him out of the prison, but he had no idea that what the angel was doing was really happening. He thought he was seeing a vision. The miracle was so impossible, Peter's mind could not accept it as real. Sometimes my interventions are so supernatural, you cannot believe they are actually happening. You think you must be dreaming, but you are not. I am working. Believe it. They passed the first and second guards and came to the iron gate leading to the city. Guard after guard, all sleeping or unable to see them. A supernatural blindness, a divine veil. They walked right past trained soldiers who should have stopped them. But when I decide to deliver, no guard can prevent it. No security system can detect it. My power makes a way where there is no way. The iron gate opened for them by itself, and they went through it. No key, no lever, no human hand touched it. The gate, massive and secure, designed to keep prisoners in and intruders out, simply swung open. Metal bowed to the will of the Maker. Physics submitted to the supernatural. They walked through, and when they had walked the length of one street, suddenly the angel left him. Then Peter came to himself and said, "Now I know without a doubt that the Lord has sent his angel and rescued me from Herod's clutches and from everything the Jewish people were hoping would happen." The angel left, and reality set in. This was not a vision. This was not a dream. He was free. God had delivered him. The impossible had happened. Praise erupted from his heart. When this had dawned on him, he went to the house of Mary, the mother of John, also called Mark, where many people had gathered and were praying. The very prayers they were praying for his release were about to be answered in front of them. They asked for a miracle. They were about to get one. But would they believe it when it arrived? Peter knocked at the outer entrance, and a servant named Rhoda came to answer the door. Inside, believers prayed for Peter's release. Outside, Peter knocked, the living answer to their prayers. Sometimes the answer to your prayer is standing outside your door, but you are too busy praying to open it. Faith prays, but faith also listens for the knock. When she recognized Peter's voice, she was so overjoyed she ran back without opening it and exclaimed, "Peter is at the door." "You're out of your mind," they told her. When she kept insisting that it was so, they said, "It must be his angel." They were praying for his release, but did not believe it when it happened. This is the paradox of faith. We ask for miracles, but are shocked when they arrive. Peter kept on knocking, and when they opened the door and saw him, they were astonished. The man they thought was in chains stood before them free. The apostle they expected to die was alive. The miracle they prayed for but did not expect had happened. God had done the impossible again. And they could do nothing but stand in amazement. Peter motioned with his hand for them to be quiet and described how the Lord had brought him out of prison. "Tell James and the other brothers and sisters about this," he said. Then he left for another place. He could not stay. Herod would be searching for him, but the story had to be told. The miracle had to be shared. My works demand testimony. My deliverance demands declaration. In the morning, there was no small commotion among the soldiers as to what had become of Peter. After Herod had a thorough search made for him and did not find him, he cross-examined the guards and ordered that they be executed. Herod's rage was futile. The guards could not explain what they did not understand. They had been overpowered, not by human cunning, but by divine intervention. You cannot guard against God. Then Herod went from Judea to Caesarea and stayed there. On an appointed day, Herod, wearing his royal robes, sat on his throne and delivered a public address. The people shouted, "This is the voice of a god, not of a man." Immediately, because Herod did not give praise to God, an angel of the Lord struck him down, and he was eaten by worms and died. The same God who delivered Peter judged Herod. Pride brings destruction. Humility brings life. But the word of God continued to spread and flourish. Beloved child, Herod tried to stop the gospel by killing James and imprisoning Peter. But James's blood watered the seed of faith, and Peter's deliverance proved no power on earth can stop what God ordains. Empires rise and fall. Persecutors come and go. But my word endures forever. And when my people pray, I move heaven and earth. Will you pray until we speak again?